Hello guys, my name is Chris Priestman from HookedGamers.com and today I am doing a review of Ilo Milo. Ilo Milo is essentially a simple puzzle game. The story goes that Ilo and Milo play with each other in the park every day, and at night time they separate to go to their houses. Come the morning, however, it seems that the world outside their window has rearranged itself, and it is down to you to help them navigate this new world so they can meet up and start playing again. In game terms, this is spread over 48 unique levels in which you must utilise the different blocks lying around to pass the obstacles that lie between the two friends. Now I am sure the first thing you have noticed about Ilo Milo is its presentation. This is a game that just shouts cute. Everything from the game's visuals to its sound design seems to have been tailored from a 2-year-old's imagination. It's like someone just breathed life into a toy shop. One thought did cross my mind though, and that was, has too much effort been put into this game's presentation? However, I was pleasantly surprised to find that Ilo Milo is quite a complex puzzle game. Despite its childish presentation, this is certainly not a game that is aimed only at younger players. Like any good puzzle game, Ilo Milo uses a clever manipulation of simple game mechanics to create its complexities. Each stage is made out of 1x1 blocks which make up the pathways and various structures. You will soon discover though that there is more to these blocks than meets the eye. This game is full of life, and this does not stop at the blocks. You'll actually find there are creatures living inside them. Although they are all cute, some of them will actually obstruct your path. Your task is to use the ones that will help you to find your way back to your friend. Although this won't seem too hard to start off with, the game certainly increases the difficulty level when you start inverting gravity all over the place. Yes, it can get quite confusing, but this is all part of the fun. And at some points you will get stuck for a little bit longer than usual, but this would not be a good puzzle game if you didn't. Showing you the ropes and helping you along your journey is a small man called Sebastian. As you can see, he rides a ladybug, and although he is only small, he makes up for it by not only resembling Napoleon's looks, but also by adopting his faux masculine persona. As you get into the more advanced stages of the game, Sebastian will more or less abandon you and leave you to work out the puzzles by yourself. If you do need a bit of help though, you can go to the pause menu and find yourself a hint. If you are still stuck at that point, you can always try another level, and luckily the game unlocks the next chapter if you have completed 6 of the 9 levels of the chapter you are on. Another sign of a good puzzle game is when you come back to the levels you were stuck on before to find the answers shouting you in the face. Basically, this just means that the game has a good difficulty curve. This does mean though that those earlier puzzles will not be able to challenge you anymore, but the game solves this by having a number of collectibles to collect in each level. To be honest with you, reaching the end of the game and unlocking all the levels is not actually that challenging, but getting all the collectibles will certainly have you racking your brains. Most of this stuff will simply unlock things you can watch and listen to in the gallery. What I found definitely worth collecting though is the 3 different coloured sapphires on each level. If you manage to collect all 3 of these tiny creatures on each level, then 3 extra bonus levels will be unlocked on each chapter. At times the bonus levels come with their own style, and you might also see some familiar faces amongst them. There is also a special item to find on one of the levels that unlocks a new game called the Ilo Milo Shuffle game. This can be fun for a short amount of time, but to be honest it's only really worth playing for its achievement. You will also notice another story thread, but you will have to wait until this is available as DLC to play it. The main problem I have with the game is that it did feel a little bit short, particularly as this is a puzzle game. Aside from gathering all the collectibles, the only thing that will keep you going is competing on the leaderboards. In a similar fashion to Portal, you will rise up the leaderboards by taking less steps to complete each level. If you are not able to get into this though, you may find that you won't spend as many hours as you would hoped with this game. The world that the developers have created would be much more suited to an adventure game rather than a puzzle game. Although this can be seen as a bit of a negative, it is actually perhaps more of a compliment to the developers' efforts. After all, you cannot argue when quality does prevail over quantity. Ilo Milo in its entirety is a really enjoyable experience, and although this will not take you a huge amount of hours to complete, the time you do spend with it will be some of the best you have invested into a puzzle game. My other more weighty criticism of the game involves its co-op mode. The reason for this is that the game is co-op by design. Basically, the game boils down to using teamwork to solve the puzzles. This would lead you to believe that this is an excellent co-op game. Overall, it is not bad, but it did not feel that it had been adapted enough to co-op play to feel any different from the single player. Not only do you play the same levels, the game does not make use of split screen, so you can only use one character at a time. Whilst you are waiting, you can control a fly called either Oli or Moly. The only difference then is that with the fly, you are tasked with finding 10 eggs in the background to unlock an achievement. Essentially though, this always leaves one player inactive, and although it is fun to work out the puzzles with a partner, you may as well just do it in the single player. The pros of the game then are that it has a wonderful presentation. It's cute and cuddly, but at the same time it will still challenge you with its puzzles. In general, the game is designed really well. Most outstanding is its sound design. The music and the sounds of the creatures really fleshes out the worlds. And this is a game that can appeal to people of all ages. Creativity and style come hand in hand to make a simple game a lot more complex than it initially seems. One of the main problems is that the game does not match to the length of other puzzle games. There is enough content to probably keep you going for about 5 to 7 hours, and there is DLC on the way to keep you going for longer, but I still feel like I wanted more right now. The other con is of course the game's co-op mode. It still baffles me that it is not better than it is. It's simply a copy and paste of the single player game, but it does not work so well despite the game being co-op by design. This may be another result of the developers spending too much time on the game's presentation. Not to end on a negative note, I really enjoyed Ilo Milo. It will grab you straight away with its cute presentation and glorious sounds. And the depth and variety of the puzzles will certainly grab you in further. This game holds enough charm to appeal to everyone, and although there are not a huge amount of levels for a puzzle game, most of the levels will take you a while to solve them. It is obvious that a great deal of effort and thought has gone into the game as a whole. It is both clever and cute, and after all, how can you stay mad at those two little faces? For my full review, please visit hookedgamers.com and search for Ilo Milo in the search bar. Thanks for watching, guys! Please check out our website at hookedgamers.com.